It's either you're gonna repent or you're gonna perish. Thus said the Lord. Feel me?
Lots for my people. What? They have cast lots for my people.
That idol can do nothing for you. You'll cast that away right now, brother. Hey, and me and my brothers gonna rejoice, and the angels gonna rejoice.
Hey,
Keep the Sabbath day secret.
that they want to keep the Sabbath secret.
The white man's book. This is the book of the Israelites.
With shit. What? With shit. All this Sabbath day. With shit.
And I ain't into playing games about prophecy. It's surely gonna come to pass.
The Israelites are God's chosen people, right? And they are above all the other nations on earth.
Follow me, and I will make with some mighty Hebrew kings. They had felonies. They used to call my brothers felons. Now they mighty priests. Esau humbled down and kissed his boot. Boy, get on your knees.
Ooh, you see that? Kendrick taught me that one.
Who?
Kendrick.
Oh, see that? Hey, word going out, man. Word going out. It's like, would you agree?
Yeah.
Okay. All praises. So, so do y'all know how we know that with Israelites? We heard Kendrick Lamar say it and know that like these so-called celebrities. But how do we know that they're just not speaking lies? Because we can show you in the Bible who we are. Because the Lord, He left us breadcrumbs and clues to help us identify who we are.
That's right.
Can we show y'all? So without, we heard the so-called entertainment industry tell us, but we can show y'all verbatim in this Bible. So we're going to go into it, right? Everybody familiar with Moses? Okay. So let's get Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse number 1. So what we're going to read is when the Israelites came up out of Egypt after Moses split the Red Sea, brought the people through that wilderness. We're going to read what Moses told was commanded to tell the Israelites. Right?
Deuteronomy 28:15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
So this is Moses saying to the Israelites, if they will not hearken, it shall come to pass if thou wilt not hearken. Y'all know what hearken means? This means it's come from the root word to hear, literally. So it's just to listen. It says they will not hearken, but listen to the words of the Lord.
To observe and to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day.
The Israelites, so I'm breaking it down. Let me start this, right? The Israelites don't listen to all his commandments.
That all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
So, family, what's a curse? It's bad. Is it ever anything good? It's like now we see, so in Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 1 and through 14, the Lord speaks about the blessing that we would receive if we would have listened to His commandments. But 15 through 68 is all the curses that would have been placed upon our people. So, yeah, we can go into the blessings, but the blessings not, it'll help us identify who we are, but the curses are like real life identifying markers to like, man, it's a sign and a wonder, right? Let's get this.
Verse 46.
Right.
And they shall be upon thee for a sign.
So he's talking about the curses. When he say they, meaning the curses shall be upon the for a sign.
And for a wonder.
Right.
And upon thy seed forever.
So he said that the curses that we're going to read are going to be a sign, just like how we know we're on Grand Street. It's a sign right there, right? How you know what part you're on. It's going to tell you that by that sign. He said, and a wonder make you, hey, that do sound like us. And for in upon thy seed forever, because we still in that forever generation.
That's right.
During that time of Moses, we still in that same world, correct? So that's what he's referring to. So now let's get to Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 16.
Verse 6.
Okay, it's good. Oh, you're there? Okay, so nevertheless, we the Israelites of the Bible. Look more into it. We got a flyer. We know y'all look a little younger. We give you a flyer, but nevertheless, God said that we're the Israelites by these curses. We went into slavery on slave ships, right? We are the ones who literally the tail amongst this world. Right. Hey, we the ones who hated around in this world, man. Right? We the ones who locked up in the jail cells. Hey, as an example.
Teacher.
So all these things refer to us. Look more into it, family. I know y'all probably got something to do, but this is important. This life and death, man. Very important. Nothing more important than this, man. Not going to have fun on the Sabbath. Hey, today the Sabbath day. The Lord said on the 6 days shall you do all your work, but the 7th day is the Sabbath day. It ain't no work, it's over. Right? So the Lord said don't eat shrimp, crab, lobster. My people love that. Bacon. See, look, that bacon catch your brother off guard. So, okay. But yeah, so we the Israelites, look more into it, family. Don't just listen to what Kendrick Lamar says. Pick up the Bible and it's going to show you everything you need to know, brother. All right. Okay, all praises. Okay, all praises. All praises.
Revelation 1:10. I was in the spirit on the Lord's day,
Right.
and heard behind me a great voice as of a trumpet,
Right.
saying, I am Alpha and Omega.
The Lord is.
I am Alpha and Omega,
Right.
the first and the last.
The Lord said he's the Alpha and Omega, even the first and the last. Right. How y'all doing today, sisters? It's a nice dog y'all got, family.
Well, thank you. I'm sorry. I was
That's okay, man. That's okay.
praying he didn't get in y'all video.
Oh, it's all cool, sister.
But he a
So,
black dog.
can I ask y'all a question?
He a black
What's y'all
dog.
nationality? What's y'all nationality? African. Okay, so I got a question for y'all. Okay, do y'all believe Yeah, I know you said you don't. Okay, so I have a question. Do y'all believe in the Bible?
Very broad.
The world called Jesus Christ. Well, God, Most High God.
There is a God.
Okay.
Now, sir, do not stop getting
That's okay. He ain't bothering nobody. He's not bothering nobody. Yeah, he's trying to hear the words of God. That's probably what he's stopping. So no, that's what we asking because what we out here doing is telling our people who they are according to the Bible. We're trying to show them. We're not just speaking our own words. We just opening up the Bible, which everybody says they believe in. We just going through the Bible verses to help us identify who we are according to the Bible. God made 18 days for people. So we're just trying to see where do we come from. Are we just the blacks, the Americans, the Ethiopians, the white people? You know, are we these or are we what God calls us? So what would it be? That's what we come out here to ask. You can say children of God, but that's vague. That's not incorrect because God made Israelites, Edomites, Moabites. Which one do we come from? You know what I'm saying? So that's more getting right to the
those
point.
are like man-made versus like
God
intended us to separate each other like that.
Well, the Lord, I get what you're saying. But he did though because he separated us from the womb. He made some people in the Bible called Edomites. He made some called Israelites. Why not just make everybody one people like y'all all just the peopleites? You know what I'm saying? So he already separated us by putting us whoever we come from, who we descend from. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's why we was asking you what you say you was in the Bible because he made millions of people. Out of those nations, which one would we descend from? That's what we're trying to figure out.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
It does.
Okay,
I'm a little distracted
Do
right now.
you have time for us to kind of show you who you would be?
No, we're waiting. Someone is waiting on us, and we're kind of really sorry.
Okay,
That's why
okay.
I was kind of like picking up the pace. Do you guys have like a website or something?
Yeah, we have some literature. We have some literature. We
Yeah,
if
can you
you
give
love
us
your
some
spirit,
literature?
bro.
Because you guys were at the Black Joy Parade too, right?
Pretty sure we the Israelites.
Okay.
The first that we the Israelites out of the Bible. We go through
That was
the-
IUIC.
Oh, that was IUIC. Okay, yeah, that probably was, they had on purple.
I think so.
Yeah, that's probably was
It's the
IUIC.
same thing.
Yeah, they Israelites as well. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right. We just letting our people know who we are as the Israelites because the Bible says that us, if our people who went into slavery, so-called black, Hispanic, Native American men of this world, are the Israelites of the Bible. Why? Because these curses will help regulate who we are, right? Because these are identifying markers upon our people to help us identify, like, oh, that did happen to our people. Going to slavery on slave ship. Who went on slavery on slave ship? What nation of people? Because that is an identifying marker that's in the Bible that help us check off, like, oh man. The
So
Lord said
what
that
is
was
it?
Say it again.
What nation of people?
The Israelites went on to slavery on slave ships. They are in the ghettos, the slums. What nation of people as a whole makes up the communities of the ghettos? As a whole. We ain't talking about, okay, one so-called white person or one so-called, you know,
Yeah.
you get what I'm saying? So that's what we go through in the Bible to help us identify, oh man, they do sound like us, right? The Lord also said us having bywords and proverbs plays a part. Why are we black, African American, niggas, Negroes? Why are we all these things, but the so-called white man just white? The Chinese man just Chinese. Why don't they have bywords and proverbs place a part of what we do? You know what I'm saying?
Because those words are used to like separate us.
Well, yeah, it's a derogatory term, but that's in the Bible. That Lord said that we was gonna have these derogatory terms, things outside our God-given nationality, which would be the Israelites. You know what we saying, sis? So that's why we saying these. That's why we going. The Lord also said we're gonna serve our enemies for one of all things, right? For in thirst, in nakedness, meaning clothing, water, and even food. Are we the ones producing our own food, going to the backyard and saying, you know what, you can cut up that cow for me and give me some lamb, some meat? We're not doing that. Some, but I'm speaking as a whole. We going to the Whole Foods, we going to Sprouts. That's what we bring. So these are things that I'm paraphrasing that's coming out of the Bible. How we let our people know if these things happen to us, we would have to be those people in the Bible.
So is there like this is interesting.
That's why it's for you. It's for the family. That's why we out here.
So
we could be doing anything
learn
else.
More? Like, is there
right here. And that's why the Lord also set up us.
So this is just again.
Yeah, that's So that's just some literature. It got a phone number, it got a YouTube, Instagram. It's just more for you to get more information.
Okay.
But you right here right now, sis. That's why you see it's all resonating with your spirit because you may be Israelite. That's why these things that we are paraphrasing, but we speak out the Bible. These things are directly related to us.
I appreciate it. Thank you for this education.
Okay, sis. So maybe it's like look more into it, sis.
Look, is that the language? What is that? It looks like kind of like interpretation.
Say it again, sis. Oh yeah, the Hebrew. Yeah, because remember, this English that we speak, it's not our
It's not our
mother
language.
tongue.
Yeah, it's not.
It's the Hebrew, the ancient Paleo Hebrew, what they call it, ancient Paleo text. All of that is technically, is our beginning language.
And then his shirt, all the saints and
Yeah, you see
Jesus
that?
in the middle.
Because you know how the pictures paint them as.
Kind of that way.
But in the Bible, they painted as so-called melanated people.
Come on now.
So that's why we bring
Nobody
these
from
things.
Jerusalem and Israel is going to be a white person.
They can't stand that sun,
Well,
can they?
descendants, come on. The oldest known skeleton that's ever found is in Africa.
Okay, that's a good point. But yeah, that's what we come and speak to our people and let them know who they are. Like you said, now we know you say you got time, but your spirit, like I don't want to go, I gotta learn more.
Know,
You see your daughter
listen,
kind of.
are you guys here like every?
Well, we go
Friday?
all throughout the Bay Area, like we go throughout the Bay Area, going to different, go to a lot of bar
I'm gonna look
stations.
up what you gave me.
Yeah, it's on that flight.
And at the end of the day, I can also look online.
Yeah, that's right. That's why the Lord made the technology for us.
Amen.
Okay, all praises, sisters. All right, y'all may be Israelites. How y'all doing, sisters? So, like we just showing our family right here, we just trying to show them who they are according to the Bible. Y'all believe in the Bible? Okay. Like we were showing our sisters right here, what race or nationality do we come from out of the Bible? Because God made 18 nations of people. So which one do we descend from? Now, in the world, they say it's black people, there's some more African Americans, and there's Chinese, and there's Mexican, but God only made 18 nations of people. So all these man-made terms, that's not who we come from. God actually had terms like Moabites, Edomites, right? Not to go too deep, but so we're trying to tell our people who we descend from out of the Bible. Have you ever heard of the Israelites? What y'all know about this? Oh, you say you don't? See that? See right here. So nevertheless, we're gonna tell y'all straight out, we the Israelites of the Bible. We want to show y'all how we know that we're Israelites. If y'all got a couple seconds, we know y'all probably busy. But we ain't gonna take up too much of your time. We want to just show our people this thing that's life or death. Know who you are. It's nothing more important than knowing who we are. We don't want to be called dots, niggas, blacks, African American, and all the other names that the world gives us. We all agree, sisters. So we're gonna try to show y'all real quick, right? Let's go back to it. Right? Let's get Deuteronomy. Right back to Deuteronomy chapter 28. So are y'all familiar with the Bible? Little man. Okay. Yeah, we understand it. Like when we was all young. Okay, what verse you know, sis? Name a verse. See, I'm putting you on the spot now.
See that?
I can't just put it on the spot.
Okay, it's cool. Okay. Like you know, like John 3:16, for the Lord, for God so loved the world. That's something you probably know, right? Okay. So we gonna show you who that world was talking about, right? Because everybody says it's the whole world, the world that the Lord loves and cares deeply about is the Israelites, and that's what we descend from, right? Israel was a man first, and then became a nation of people. And he had his children, and they became a nation of people. So we don't want to go too deep, but let's go to Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 1. Let's start at 1. Now this is Moses. supermen for the Israelites when they was in slavery. They was in Egypt, they were slaves. Moses was the man that set them free out of that condition, right? Thus for the Lord gave him some commandments and some stones and told him, tell this to my people, the Israelites, once we're free out of Egypt, out of the slavery. So now we just fast forward. Now we fast forward to what he told to the Israelites. Look at Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 1. He told them two things, good and bad. A blessing if they're going to keep the commandments, but if they don't listen, it's always important, kind of like your parents. Say if you got chores. If you do them, you may get that money. Anything something positive, right? But if you don't do them, it's a consequence, right? Same way how the Lord told Moses to do this people. Look at Deuteronomy 28.
Guys, the book of Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 1.
Right.
And this shall come to pass if thou shalt hearken diligently.
So hearken, family, just means to listen. Just hear or listen. So he said if they shall hearken or listen diligently, right? Sincerely.
Unto the voice of the Lord thy God,
right?
To observe and to do all his commandments.
So he said if they listen to do his commandments,
which I command thee this day,
then what's going to happen?
That the Lord thy God will set thee on high above all nations of the earth.
See, that's the reward. That's like you doing the dishes, now your parents gave you $100. But you know, if you don't do them, let's see what the Lord said, what would have happened if they didn't do it. Deuteronomy 28 and 15.
Right.
Now this if you didn't do the dishes. Let's see what the Lord said.
Verse 15.
Right.
But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
So meaning not listen or don't do the dishes, right?
To observe, to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses,
Is a curse, it's not, is it a good or a bad thing? It's a bad thing. So that's why, that's, you'll get your butt whipped or a punishment or something like that. So that's what this is related to, right? Now, jump to verse 16.
Verse 16.
Right? So remember, it's a good or bad. Keep the commandments and be above everybody and get that money, or don't keep them and have bad things happen to you, like curses, or, you get a punishment or whooping or whatever. So we just making it into layman's terms for a family. Let's get 16. So this is one of the curses or the bad things that was going to happen if they didn't.
Cursed shalt thou be in the city.
So you said curse, living bad in the city. Now, what? I ask a question. Where do most of our people live at? Is we in the suburbs? Or what part of the city do we live? We live in the best parts of the city, as a whole. Where we live at, man? What's the name for it? The ghetto, projects, slums. That's what we do, right? As a whole, right? You don't see the so-called white people dwelling in the ghettos as a whole. You may have a couple of them, but mainly it's always going to be our people, the so-called blacks and Hispanics, right? Black and brown, right? No,
and cursed shalt thou be in the field.
Now, even in the field. Now, even slavery. Slavery, who was picking the cotton? What race of people was picking the cotton? So that's literally what the Lord said. That's a curse that was upon our people. We literally was going to be the ones picking the cotton, right? Living in the worst conditions.
That's right.
In the hoods. So that's a bad thing that was going to happen if we didn't keep God's commandments as the Israelites, because we was his chosen. Let's get Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 37. That's the same thing I'm going to
Verse 37.
Right.
And thou shalt become an astonishment,
right?
A proverb,
right?
And a byword.
So now the Lord said he's going to be an astonishment, right? Y'all know what an astonishment is? What do it mean if you astonish at something?
Like accomplished, basically.
Say it again, sister.
Like accomplished.
Well, no, not really. Not accomplished. Now you got drones coming, man. We bringing out the words of God, and you got the drones coming about. Yeah, see that? But nevertheless, the Lord said we'll be an astonishment, just like a shaking to the enemies. Right? We'll be an amazement to the people. Right? When we sagging our pants, what the nations do that? The people looking at us, sagging their pants, hat to the back, tatted. We are astonishment to people going up.
And a byword among all the nations, whither the Lord shall lead thee.
And the byword is literally just going to be quite outside our guidelines. Instead of the Israelites, now we're the black folks, we're the African Americans, we all these different names besides the Israelites. That's what the byword is, right? Now let's get Deuteronomy chapter 28 and 68.
Right, verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again.
So now the Lord said he was going to bring the Israelites into Egypt again, being in slavery or bondage, because that's what Moses had to free them out of, that condition. Right, they were slaves, right?
Right. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again.
Let's get that from the book.
Okay.
Deuteronomy 5 and 6.
So we're going to just solidify what that Egypt is,
Right.
I am the Lord thy God, right, which brought thee out of the land of Egypt, right, from the house of bondage.
One more time, right?
From the house of bondage.
So family, what did Egypt mean? He said he brought them out of the house of bondage. Because he said they was in Egypt from the house of bondage. What is we restrain, right, held against our will in a sense. Right. So that's what that's going to. So now we're gonna relay that back to Deuteronomy 28:68. Let's read that one more time. We ain't gonna be too long. We know y'all probably gotta go. So we already see this.
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
So Egypt meaning bondage or slavery. So he said he was gonna bring our people into slavery again by the way of ships. That happened historically speaking. Who went on slavery on slave ships? Who went on slave? What race of people went on slavery on slave ships?
Black man.
Right. But that's in the Bible. We just read that out the Bible. Did y'all know that was in the Bible? It is. So that's talking about our people. But remember, the Lord is speaking to the Israelites saying that if they didn't keep His commandments, they was going to go into slavery on slave ships. So if the Lord is speaking to the Israelites, what happened to the so-called black people? Who will we be according to the Bible? We be the Israelites. That's how easy it is to figure it out. It is way other things we can show y'all how we know who we are, but it's that simple. If the Lord is speaking to the Israelites saying y'all gonna go on slavery on slave ships, if y'all didn't keep His commandments, and that happened to our people, the Israelites, man.
That's right.
Simple as that, right? Remember, but all of that happened because we didn't keep God's commandments. Do y'all know any of God's commandments? Because this is one of the things that determines
He was there in Ethiopia.
what time period did he live in?
Constantine? You know, like 325 AD.
Okay. So you say he created Western
Concepts of Christianity.
Okay. I wouldn't disagree. But nevertheless, Constantine, he just created that false Christianity, sun worship, and just keep the Sabbath on Sunday. And now that the truth out, we know that who we are and what day to keep it. So that's all not the voice. But what we trying to show
You
you.
remember his dream though?
I don't know.
He said his dream was he
he
saw
said
the cross.
He saw the cross.
Yeah. And a voice in his dream told him, by this symbol, rule, right? And he's ruled by it ever since. Him and Western colonial powers have ruled by that ever since. Before they went into Africa, who went first? The missionaries, right? To weaken the
This is
people.
all religion and culture.
Yeah, it's good to know the truth, though.
So, okay,
So you don't buy
what's your
into the
nationality?
nonsense.
What's your
I
nationality?
am African, 139,000%. I have always been African, will never be nothing else. That is my derivation, genetically and culturally and every other way. And that's who I am, that's what I am. I don't claim anything else. When I was 8 years old, right, during Self-Appreciation Day, in a second grade class, they asked me what I was most proud about myself. Of course, the little white kid said I'm nice to people and I'm this. I told them I have never, ever, and I knew this at 8, right? I have never, ever wanted to be white. I got in trouble for it, actually, but
All praise.
that's been with me forever, and I will never want to be
Now I
anything
want to ask
else.
you something. What does that word African descend from? What does it come from?
Africas, not from, Amerigo Africanus. It did, no, it didn't come from there. It did come from a Roman. Africanus, Cyprius Africanus. There you go. Scipio Africanus, yes, is where that name from.
So why would we call ourselves something after a white man? I don't descend from a so-called white man.
Just no, you absolutely do not. That's what he called it, right? Because of his ignorance. They didn't have another name for it. But the people there call themselves Nubians, right?
So where would you get any of that information from? As far as calling themselves, because they named, he conquered this world, so he so-called discovered it, so he named it after himself. He was Cyprius Africanus.
Yeah, he conquered the world. Parts of Africa.
Yeah, that's why he named it that. So now you basically saying you calling yourself that.
Primarily, he conquered Libya, right? Scipio Africanus conquered, not Africa.
Okay, so, but listen,
the
real
name-
quick, I get what you're saying. So you said that you're 100%, without a shadow of a doubt, African. 103. My bad.
I didn't put the 3 on. I'm 1,000. I'm the ante. 1,000 because of cultural identification. Because those people identify as that, and I am from those people. I can't get away from that, right? So I can break it down and call myself Nubian. If you want to get into the nitty gritty of it, that's what we are.
You know where even Nubian come from? You know where that come from? Nubian or Nubian?
Nubia. Yeah. It came from Nubia. You ever read the Egyptian
Brother,
book?
pull that up for me, the definition.
Can I ask you this? Have you ever read the Egyptian book? And I'm suggesting this while I'm asking this question. Everybody read the Egyptian book of coming into light from darkness. Everything.
I wouldn't read it.
You would?
It don't pertain to me. I'm not African. I'm not Egyptian. I'm none of those. I'm an Israelite according to the Bible, and that's how I would try to show you.
But you want to know?
I would read it to study it to be able to.
You want to know the Bible? You should.
Just to get an understanding of where they come from.
They call themselves and they connect them people. The Egyptian book of coming into life from darkness. If you want to know why you're Israeli or Judean, right?
Religion.
Okay.
Before you even go to that, that's all new, man-made. You never heard Judean in the Bible.
You're absolutely right.
That's literally religion.
I can't dispute with that, but I'm trying to establish a common frame of reference.
I'm listening.
I know you have a reference point for that, right? I have a reference point for it. So now we can be on the same page, which is why I use it. I don't know what you know. You can tell me after I'm finished.
That's what we're here for. We have to have a dialogue, let you know. Because ultimately, when we coming out here to teach, like our brother right here, how you doing that, brother? We just coming out here and showing our people who they are according to the Bible. Do you believe in the Bible?
You know the first thing. Do I believe in the Bible? I believe in the word of Jesus. Let me ask you.
So you believe, so you do believe.
In divine essence, absolutely.
Okay. But that's so, real quick, I want to show you. That's what we come out here and teach. We teach it. Jesus who he is, who they were called Jesus, even though Jesus isn't his name. If that's the case, you might as well call myself a Nubian.
Or African, yeah. African's not appropriate. You're absolutely right.
But I get what you're saying, though, for edification's sake. I get what you're saying. But nevertheless, we want to show our people culturally who we are in this Bible. Because we all think it's just a white man book. We think it's just man-made. It's not. It was made by man, but
Most of it is. When he put together the Council of Nicaea, you know how many books of the Bible they took out of the Bible?
Yeah, I know.
Which is why I studied the ancient Egyptian Book of the Dead, the Dead Sea Scrolls, and above all, the Nag Hammadi text. Can't find anything in that Bible that's not in the Nag Hammadi text. And I can go get it. Are you guys out here every weekend?
We come out here like every, it depends. We move around the whole way here. So we don't just go to one.
I was going to say, I want to come and because I want to show you. You'll find something in that Bible that's not in.
I can believe it.
That
if
book.
you were related to the Nag Hammadi,
I'll convert to whatever you know.
say it
Nag
again.
Hammadi text, which were ancient scripts, scrolls found in caves on Mount Ararat, and
So they were just there. They were just there.
It's been carbon dated, bro.
Because when you go into it though, like even the very first Bible, like you know the name of the very first like text that was composed, should I say? Like the Latin Vulgate, like we go back to Latin Vulgate and William Tisdale Bible, all these different Bibles. You're familiar with those, right? So where do you find a Nag Hammadi in it?
Nag Hammadi.
Right.
What do you mean?
Because before, what language was that translated from? The Nag Hammadi. Aramaic. So
The language of Jesus.
it's not the language.
What's the language of Jesus?
It's Hebrew. Because everybody misses
know
school.
what?
'Cause
Do you
what
know
was
where
first?
Hebrew
What was
comes-
first? What was first? Aramaic or Hebrew?
Right.
It's a question. What was first? Hebrew or
You
Aramaic?
believe it to the computer?
Well, we gonna go into it too. But yeah, we can go into it on the robot. But Aramaic was not first. That's the misconstruction this world has. How can Aramaic be first? It don't make sense. When they was talking back then, it was the ancient Canaanite text. It was all Hebrew. It was never, or even when you go the ancient Canaanite text, you got the Paleo Hebrew, all of those things, the Phoenician text. You would never hear nothing about the so-called, the so-called Aramaic. You never hear about that before any other
I've
ancient,
studied this
earliest.
for 10 years, and it's the first one that I heard.
Arabic, okay.
Yeah.
We going to it.
You call it
And
whatever you like.
And we can even
Hebrew,
pull that up. You
Hebrew,
pull it up about the Arabic
Hebrew.
text. Let's see what came first.
It's the root language of that language, Hebrew, right? I can say the alphabet in each, can say a word in either, for the most part.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. All right. Even when you go into that Bible that you talking about, so the Nag Hammadi, it says that it was, they said they discovered it in Upper Egyptian town of Nag Hammadi in 1945. So how can we speak of a Bible that was just discovered in 1945?
I explained to you that it was.
I wouldn't even say that. The Quran would even outdate that. The Quran outdates that by thousands.
Found
So that pretty
actually,
I can't.
No,
That's
no,
like
wait,
saying that.
You gonna listen
Okay,
to
I'll
me
listen
ask
to
me
it.
the question?
Yeah, that's impossible.
You know what carbonation
That's
is? Carbonation?
Yeah,
You can absolutely trace a tree to when it was born.
That's stretching it. That's the stretches of the stretches. Because when you go into carbon and now
You
you're
guys
going into
reject
science.
all science?
Yes, because you're going into
You
science
reject
now.
all science?
What is science?
The science is the language of the mind, the human mind.
The
is
human
what
mind.
Yeah.
The human mind.
The human.
Yeah.
That's low level.
And you know,
yeah, those
wait,
are literally
wait.
theories. Because when you go into science, even the Big Bang experience, the Big Bang,
we don't
the
talk
Big
about
Bang
that, bro.
theory. No, it's all
let's
going into
stick to what we
science.
said. Let me
Is that
finish.
not going into
Let me
science?
finish.
Answer my
Let me
question.
finish.
Is that not going into science?
Well, they interpret it as science. Don't mean it's science, bro.
It is science, brother. They configure in their mind that a big a big explosion of gas. Real quick. Let's do it in order. A big gas exploded, created life on this earth, created us humans who regenerate. A woman who has their menstrual cycle. The procreation of human and mankind. A Big Bang theory did it. That's science. That's why it says theory. It's a hypothesis. It's all science. Everything to do with science, it comes from that hypothesis.
So life could be going that way?
Say it again?
Life could be going that way?
No, I 100% disagree. That's right. It just don't even, it don't add up.
That stays there for 2 weeks. Have you ever seen a puddle of water just sitting there, right? And in 2 weeks, it's got all these different life forms in it. Where did they come from? Where did it come from? It could totally happen. I'm not saying it did, but we're talking about language, right?
Right.
When I say science of the mind, I'm going to tell you this, and then I got to go.
No, but we got to have that conversation.
Wait.
Let's go into it, though. Let's go into
Let me
it.
just
Because we
tell
talking about
you.
Aramaic.
Okay, yeah.
Let's stay on that
I'm gonna
topic.
go
Oldest
away from
language
that.
ever made.
We're going to argue, we're going to discuss, bro. I mean,
No, I was trying to set the premise of Aramaic being the oldest language, right? That's what you're saying. Now let's get the facts.
And it's right here on this phone, but I do want to say this to clarify something for you. Right? When I say it's the language of the mind, the human mind, my creator, divine essence, created me as a human, right? Am I anything else? Am I anything else? Divine essence, my creator, created me as a human being. What else am I? What else are you?
Well, even when you go into the so-called wording of the human, is everybody a human? If you want to get technical.
Is everybody a human? Of course. But, you know,
But what do hue come from? What is hue? When you go into the word, break it down.
it's color, yeah. You call it man. It's the first man. That's why it's human. Right?
Well, my
Man of color.
point of saying that
What's
is,
your point?
okay, say, let's go into it like this. Color is only a melanated person. So-called white men, you can say white is a color, but they come from us.
Unmelanated.
So
They're not melanated.
Say what? And they're not white. I'm just using that.
They're not melanated.
Because the color
They have
is
no
from
color.
us, the hue. So how can they be human? So how can they be human if they have no color? That's what I'm saying to you, brother.
They can't be human.
You just said they was human.
Listen,
Bring this out of Genesis
wait.
chapter 10, because
Yeah,
now you going around.
You trying to trip me up, bro. But like I said, I studied this for 10 years. You know who Ivan Van Sertima is?
Let me show you something real quick.
You know who Ivan Van? No. You know who Ivan Van Sertima is? Everything about me is divinely created, bro. So when I say the science of the human mind,
yourself, brother, and say one thing
I
and
ain't
then say
nothing
something
confused
else.
about me.
Read this out. Let's show you this.
This is the book of Genesis, chapter 11, and verse 1.
Right up.
And the whole earth was of one language and of one speech.
So even in Genesis chapter 11, the The Lord said the whole world was a one language. What language was that? Do you know what Eber? What do Eber come from?
What is what?
Eber.
Eber?
Yes.
I have no clue.
Of course you don't, cause so that's what we're trying to show you. So Eber, literally, his name literally means Hebrew. So because we know that the language that we were speaking was Hebrew, so let's go into Genesis chapter.
Who's to
10,
say Constantine didn't tamper with that?
Real quick, let me show you.
We know he changed the Bible and took books out of the Bible.
But you just say you believe in the Bible now.
No. I said I believe in the word of Jesus, bro. I don't believe in everything in that book.
Genesis chapter 10.
I think I gotta go. Y'all have a good day. Keep doing your thing. Look, last suggestion, right? You want to know why you're Israelite? Read the Egyptian book of Coming into Light from Darkness. It talks about why you're Israelite. Y'all have a good day.
And unto Eber were born 2 sons.
Hey, so, brother, when you go into Eber, his name literally means Hebrew. That's why you got a Hebrew, Edomite, right? You got a Hebrew Moabite, but they are not Israelites, man. You got a Hebrew and a Hebrew Israelite. You got a separation, man. Everybody was Hebrews back then, if you want to get technical. Right? Keep going up.
And unto Eber were born 2 sons.
Right.
The name of one was Peleg, for in his days was the earth divided.
Right, you can end on that. He already left. But nevertheless, he confounded himself, man. At the end, he literally said, literally out his own mouth, he said he believed in the Bible, and then he said, I know, but now it's kind of written by a white Constantine temple. Right? What did he say before that, man? It was folly, man. He didn't know what the hell he was talking about.